Hi, sci-fi fans. Welcome to Visionary Stories. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Thank you.
Echoes of the Architects Chapter 2. 300 years after Rhen Novak lit the first Echo vessel, the stars remained silent. But the fire had not gone out. Kaelin Novak floated in geosynchronous orbit over Saturn's outer ring, her gaze fixed on the icy curve below. A maintenance drone blinked nearby, trailing behind her like a patient dog. Her voice broke the silence. "Grandmother, I still don't know what you saw, but I feel it too. That quiet hum behind the stars." A voice responded in her mind. Not real, not hallucination, just memory, waking when it was ready. Peace makes people forget. Memory is our weapon now. She turned toward the docking cradle. The hull of Echo 5 shimmered with self-healing alloy, its architect runes almost invisible in the golden light. Inside, her team was waiting. "System integrity is clean," said Maraine, her lead technician. "Shield lattice recharged, vault sync at 98%. "Keep it off the grid," Kaelin replied, stepping inside. "Everything stays dark." Maraine hesitated. "Still no council directive. You're sure this is worth building out here?" Kaelin looked at her, quiet fire behind her eyes. "They won't see the threat until it's too late. That's why we're here. That's why I was born." Later, in the privacy of her chamber aboard Echo 5, Kaelin ran the neural dream sync. She didn't sleep like normal people. Every few weeks, when the stars aligned in a precise harmonic band, she would fall into deep architect resonance. The logs called it a side effect. The Novaks called it guidance. That night, she saw both of them, Claire and Arel. Claire stood beneath Earth's ice, hair snow-silver, hands warm and strong. Arel stood beside her, holding the old node, its crystal dim but steady. "The stars will not wait for peace," Claire whispered. "But they will wait for you," Arel added. Kaelin reached toward them and woke. Back on the surface of Enceladus, teams finished sealing the final subvault of what would become Sanctum 11, a black site shielded against detection, coded only to architect resonant gene locks. Her voice carried over the encrypted team channel. "We've got 92% of the legacy arsenal spread across 5 moons and 2 asteroid fields." "That's enough." A beat of silence. "Enough to fight?" asked Maraine. "No," Kaelin answered. "Enough to end a fight, quietly." The echo systems pulsed around her. On her wrist, the node flickered once, green, then blue, then still. She whispered to it as if it could hear. "We're not done. There's another coming. Someone after me, stronger, clearer." Outside, the moons turned like patient gears, waiting. The boy was waiting for her again. Same spot. Same posture. Legs crossed on the smooth obsidian floor of Sanctum 11, just beneath the central node array. Kaelin Novak stood at the archway, arms folded. "You always sit in the coldest part of the room." Rhen didn't look up. "It's the quietest." He was 12, hair always a mess, fingers twitching like they were working on invisible equations. Most kids his age were still learning orbital physics. Rhen had already decoded an echo fragment no one else could access. Because it had called him. Kaelin stepped forward and sat beside him. "I saw you in a dream last night," Rhen said without warning. She arched a brow. "Which version of me? The one who cries after the transmissions end?" "I don't cry." He looked at her. "Not where anyone can see." For a moment the chamber hummed. Soft, low, like distant thunder beneath ice. Rhen placed his hand on the floor. "They're getting louder. The ones from the edge." Kaelin tried to keep her voice steady. "The dreams?" "No. The echoes, like someone's knocking, but from the wrong side of the wall." She opened a projection panel and showed him the star map. A curl of orange marked deep space past the outer marker field. "Here," she said. "You pointed to this last time." He nodded. "That line doesn't mean a threat," Kaelin said. "It just means anomaly." "No," Rhen corrected. It means curiosity. And curiosity's what comes before danger. She closed the map. You know what this means, don't you? I'm the next one, he said flatly. The Novak. That's not a title, she replied. It's a burden. Kaelin looked at him for a long time. It's also a gift. You dream like they did. Not to predict, to prepare. Rhen turned toward her, voice low. Then tell me what I'm supposed to become. She didn't answer. Instead, she placed her palm on the floor beside his. The system recognized their bloodline, pulsed with blue light. A new seed archive opened in silence behind them. Come, she said, I'm going to show you how to shape stars without ever lighting a match. Later, in his quarters, Rhen scrawled symbols onto the wall, glyphs he didn't consciously understand. One looked like a circle split by lightning, another a single vertical line, broken in 3 places. At the top, he wrote 3 words. We are waiting. In a quiet satellite chamber above, the Architect AI fragment flickered for the first time in centuries. It had no name. Just a task. Monitor Novak signal integrity. Prepare Pax Ultima. Interface status. Inheritor detected. Rhen Novak didn't blink as the final code string loaded. The neural lattice glowed faintly beneath his fingers. 3 kilometers of linked qubits, invisible to the eye but heavy with consequence. Across the display, a phrase pulsed steadily. Pax Ultima. Core weapon. System status. Armed authorization. Pending diplomatic activation. Failsafe. Bound behind him, Kaelin spoke softly. Does it feel like a weapon? Rhen shook his head. No, it feels like a boundary. They stood inside Sanctum 12, one of only 2 facilities capable of executing the full Pax Ultima cascade. The system was unlike anything ever built. A zero-flash, zero-sound field collapse, targeting hostile command nodes across light years. No trace, no debris, no second chance. It won't fire unless Earth's entire diplomatic arm agrees, Rhen said, more to himself than to her. Kaelin's voice was flat. And if they're compromised, then it doesn't fire. That's the point. He walked slowly across the activation dais, boots soft against the synth stone. Some days I wonder if we went too far, he said. Kaelin leaned against the console. And the rest of the days? I wonder if we didn't go far enough. He gestured to a small handprint plate embedded in the core housing. This links to me, he said. But not to launch, only to disable. If the world changes, if we change, someone needs a way to shut it all down. She stepped closer. Even from yourself? He smiled faintly. Especially from me. Silence fell between them for a long moment. Then Kaelin stepped forward, pulled something from her pocket. A crystal node. Old, worn, but still warm with resonance. She pressed it into his hand. This was Claire's. Passed through every Novak that mattered. It's yours now. Rhen looked down at the node, then up at her. What if I'm not ready? Then you'll become ready. Outside the chamber, storms moved silently across a terraformed moon. Far above, sensor satellites blinked rhythmically, waiting for a signal they hoped would never come. That night, alone in the archive room, Rhen recorded his first encrypted log. We don't build Pax Ultima to win. We build it so no one dares make us choose. If you're hearing this and you're thinking about using it, then you've already failed the Architect's test. He paused, then whispered, Find Thorne, train him well. He'll be the hand. In orbit, the Pax Ultima system pinged across 12 backup cores. Its logic tree checked for errors. Its morality net ran silent drills against 25 diplomatic scenarios. In every one, the same conclusion emerged. Weapon is viable. Execution is not recommended. Recommendation: continue observation. Rhen Novak sat wrapped in a thermal shawl beneath the growing red sun. The old man's eyes tracked a shuttle as it curved through the atmosphere like a silver blade. Wind danced across the rooftop garden, rustling synth bamboo and plumleaf trees. The footsteps were expected. Elian Thorne stopped 3 meters away, hesitating, with the gravity of someone who had rehearsed his entrance and still got it wrong. "You summoned me, sir?" Rhen turned, smiled faintly. "No one summons anyone anymore, Elian. We ask. That's what makes us different." Thorne nodded and stepped closer. He was younger than Rhen had imagined he would be, 40s maybe, but already graying. Tall, even-tempered, too diplomatic for his own good. And yet, Rhen had watched him from afar for years. He was the one. Rhen gestured to a bench. "Sit. I don't have long." "I'm honored." Rhen coughed once. "You won't be when I tell you what I'm about to give you." Thorne tilted his head. "You mean Pax Ultima?" Rhen smiled. "You already know?" "I suspected. The Novak patterns, the hidden vaults, the data trails you didn't quite cover." "Well then," Rhen said, "you'll understand why I chose you." He pulled a small crystal node from his coat, the one passed down from Claire, Aurel, Kaelin. "Still warm." Rhen pressed it into Thorne's hand. "This binds to your neural print. You're now the Executor." Thorne didn't move. "I'm a diplomat," he said at last. "Exactly," Rhen replied. "This system can only be activated by a unanimous council decision, and only by someone who still believes words can work." They sat in silence for a while, watching the stars rise behind the hazy curve of Earth. "Why me?" Thorne asked quietly. Rhen looked tired. "Because you'll hesitate. That's the whole point." He stood, slowly. "When the time comes," Rhen said, placing his palm against Thorne's shoulder, "press your hand to the pad. You'll know where. It will not feel like war." And then he walked away, his final steps lost in the wind. 3 years later, the Galactic Council chamber rose like a cathedral of stone and light. Thousands watched from the tiers above. The tension was pure silence. Krellon forces had breached 2 protected zones. Diplomatic channels were severed. Civilian colonies had gone dark. Elian Thorne stood at the central pedestal. "You've left us no path but this," he said quietly. "And yet, I do not speak for war. I speak for memory, for the echo that warned you." He lifted his hand and gestured to the chamber's central dome. A low hum filled the air. The starlit ceiling darkened and was replaced by a map of the galaxy. More precisely, of Krellon space. Highlighted in blood-red vectors were every known Krellon world, station and fleet asset. Each point blinked gently, rhythmically, like the countdown of a beating heart. Thorne pressed his palm to a neural pad. "Activate Pax Ultima." Across half a galaxy, nothing seemed to happen. No flashes, no detonations. Only absence. In the silence that followed, Rhen's final log played faintly over the chamber speakers. "We do not erase to win. We erase to prevent what cannot be undone." Peace was the seed. This is the shadow that guards it.